The Backyard Ultra is a 6.71 kilometer loop. It's a race that never ends until it does. Every hour, on the hour, you run the loop, and then you have to get back to the loop again and again and again. You go until you can't go any longer, until there's one person standing that's declared the winner. Everyone else is a DNF. In August of 2024, I told the line of the Grassroots Backyard Ultra in Okotoks, Alberta, and this is my story. I'll probably want to change a little bit, like if I can. So not every loop, but maybe every few loops changing. T-shirts, I got t-shirts, tanks and shit out there.
Yeah,
so just kind of being ready for that, I guess. And then the other thing they said is, of course, you can't give me nothing when I'm in the corrals.
Like last year. When you go there, I just stay outside of the corral and I don't touch you or talk to you.
And I want to do a tailwind every, give 2 big scoops of that tailwind every single time.
Yeah.
I want to drink a tailwind every bottle.
Do the protein.
I'll be on the gels every time. I'll eat every 3-4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I want to stay on salt. So like 2 of these every loop. I think I'll run out of these eventually. But then the other thing, I have enough. Like I'll like 1 or 2. But then the other thing too will be like go by feel. So like if you have some chips and pretzels out like in cups like you did last year, just grab, pick at. I think that's it. I don't quit in this chair. That's the deal. I do not quit in this chair. No matter how, because the time where it's going to be the most likely to quit is when it's cold and dark. That's when, or when I get super hot. But at nighttime, you tend to let your brain go. That's enough. And that's not going to happen today.
When do the chocolate chip cookies come in?
To be determined. That's a go by feel thing. See how the body feels.
Well, we got your back, but you have your brain, so you operate that.
Yeah, but
we'll run the rest.
Oh, and then the other thing too is I get last word obviously, but don't let me quit early. Don't let me quit. Like, and don't be like, are you sure? Like, get your ass out there. Yeah.
Keep running.
Part of it's just don't quit in this chair. Whatever. I just want to leave every single ounce out there, and so we're gonna hit some lows, and that's the okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
In 2023, I ran this exact race, and after only 1 loop, I was quickly taken right back to that same course. I remembered every single turn, every hill, every place where I walked, every place where I would run, the strategy that I had used last year to get me through 20 hours on the course. It was helpful in some ways, but in other ways, it was a painful reminder of all that was in store.
There's a gel right there, baby.
I'm gonna have one of these honey stingers, I think.
Okay.
Craving a little bit of sugar. I'm going tarps off for a little bit here.
How was it?
That was good. Yeah. The strategy all comes back, where you walk, where you run, where you just chill the fuck out.
Yeah, and we understand those concepts a lot.
I try and walk up the uphills. Like when there's any kind of an incline, I'm walking it so that I can just rest my. It's easy to get under 50K normally, so.
Me? Oh, never mind.
Runners are allowed to set up their own tents behind the starting corrals, and then after every loop you have to make your way back. There'd be a 3-minute whistle, a 2-minute whistle, and then a 1-minute whistle. Once you step inside the lines, your crew can no longer assist you. You can get no more help, and if you step outside of that box, you're disqualified. So it's all about that strategy of how long you wait in your chair until how long it takes you to get back inside the box and get ready to go again.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
2 down.
Hey, I felt like you're just here.
Feels like I just was here. It's good. That's a good thing. When it feels like it's been forever, that's when.
Met a lady from Airdrie. Her husband's running in this race.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
I knew the temperature was going to be a variable that I had to manage. The forecast was 30 degrees Celsius and it was hot early. I decided to go shirts off for as long as I could. I used an ice bandana around my neck to stay cool, knowing that the later hours in the afternoon were going to be brutal.
All right, everyone. You know what time it is. We have number 38, and Dawn is back. 1, shirtless Ian, 43. There we go. All righty.
I've heard it said that a backyard ultra is more of an eating contest than a running contest. Every loop I had a bottle of Tailwind, which is calories and electrolytes, plus I was supplementing it with chips, pretzels, Cliff Bars, gels, and solid foods every 3 to 4 hours.
20 seconds. 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go!
Whoa!
Well done, everybody! You are starting Loop 5! Loop 5! Nicely done, Ian. Ian's about 43.
Woohoo!
Pretty sure this is Preston, 38. 15. Yep, we'll go to 1.
Want to push you out?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Woo!
Here comes Mark. We got 20 seconds on the clock. Let's go. 15. Get ready.
Are you coming in? Oh,
By the end of Loop 7, the temperature had risen significantly. We were just under 50 kilometers in, and heat management was my primary focus. It was hot, I was jamming ice everywhere I could, I was wearing compression sleeves where I would stick ice in those, my ice bandana around my neck, ice under my hat, and after every loop I would go back to my tent and cool down as quickly as possible to turn it around.
Not even halfway.
The neck. 40 seconds.
It's a little damp now. It's drying. Yeah, that's a good idea.
My goal was to run a 50-minute loop. That gave me enough time at the end for a quick change, food, rest, whatever I needed in the moment, but also balanced off not working too hard. It was a very easy pace to hold, and I knew that I had to do that if I wanted to go the distance. Going too fast is often a mistake people make.
That's a whole other story.
Who's calling my phone? FaceTime audio. No, it's a really bad time.
Minute 15.
Oh, where's my water? Where's my water?
Right here.
God, we'll get out there without that. Okay, good luck to you.
Good luck.
With each loop, as you make your way back to starting corrals, you're always interested to see who's still in it and who's dropped. By 10 hours in, we had lost several runners. There was more space in the corral, and it was, on one hand, exciting to know that you were still in the game, but also a sobering reminder that the intensity was starting to dial up, and the game was getting harder and harder. It really questions how long you think you can stay in the game, and especially at this point, battling so much heat was a huge factor.
Number 10.
Looking strong.
Are you the back row checker? Oh, fine. You got this. You got this.
Midway through Loop 11, a storm rolled in. The hot sunny weather was quickly replaced by rain and wind, and while it was nice to have the cool air for a change after several hours of scorching heat, it was also a really big reminder of how quickly things can change and how many variables are outside of your control in a backyard ultra.
See you at the beach.
Yep.
Thank you.
At the midpoint of Loop 15, you hit 100 kilometers in distance on the day, and I knew for many people in the field that that was a target and a main goal. I was hoping that after that point more people would start to drop off, because I was still in it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
Has to be.
Nowhere near you. Don't touch them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So after 17 laps, I went out one more time. I went out on lap number 18 and I couldn't complete the loop. So for me, I successfully completed 17 laps just over 114 kilometers in running. I was a little disappointed. I really wanted to get to 24 hours. But a couple takeaways that I had from this attempt were a few things. One is the diet is so important. Staying on the calories is so important. For me especially, the salt intake and the electrolytes is super important. I'm really salty when I sweat a lot. And I was really trying to get in the salt, and the heat from the day I think really made it a big challenge for me. So I think that's part of the reason why I went from feeling pretty good to really locking up. I could hardly move my legs. There's a point after the 17th loop, or 16th loop I should say, where I was done. I didn't think I could go out again. My wife said, "You're going." I said, "Okay, grab me something," and I grabbed some water and I went again. And as I was moving, I felt okay. I got through that loop, and then I tried to do the 18th loop and it was over. So diet is so important. Salt is so important. Having a plan is important, but obviously adjusting to what the day brings you was part of my challenge. It always is an event like this, is adapting to what comes up. So that was a big one. The mental piece is really tough in a backyard ultra as well for me, because, and I think for many people, it's because it's a race with no end. You get to decide when the race is over. So if you're, it's not like you're going to go run 100K and when you get to that, it's over. You basically go until you can't take it anymore. So you constantly are wrestling with yourself on how much more can I go? How much do I have left? And especially when you get into the night, into like 2, 3 in the morning, and it's cold, it's dark, and you're starting to get into that, that headspace. It's really tough. For me, one of my biggest goals was not to quit in my chair, because once you sit down after a loop, it's really hard to get back up. So for me, that was a big one. I think having those goals in your mind, setting some of those sort of things, knowing what's going to come up, have a good plan, know where you're going to maybe run into some trouble, try and figure out when you're going to have to override your brain. But for me, this was a relatively successful event. This was a setup. I'm running the Lost Soul 100K Ultra in just a few weeks now. I'm going to document that as well. I didn't want to say this is a training run, but this was a really good sort of run that was going to help me prepare, that I used this very strategically to sort of get a really good sort of challenge. The mental side is so important. This is going to transition into my next upcoming event, and also just the opportunity to really find my limit. So this is something that I really enjoy doing. It's tough because it's a really long learning curve, because you can't run these all the time like shorter races. So every time I've done these, I've learned just a little bit more, but you've got to go through like 20 plus hours of torture to learn the lessons. So anyways, this was my experience. This is a super great race, very well organized. If you're interested in it, it's in June of next year. It's the Grassroots Backyard Ultra. Fantastic hosts, fantastic race organizers, really fun group, and a great running community that comes out to participate. The winners this year actually finished around 35 hours, so there's some really great competition. A really good field showed up this year. So this was my experience. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about Backyard Ultra formats, I've learned a few things. I'm happy to share some of my lessons beyond what you saw here. And if you're running in any, drop those in the comments. I'd love to hear sort of your experience running them, or if you've got something come up that you've done. Let's learn together. I'd also appreciate a like, a subscribe, keep track with us, and we'll see you on the next one. And I have to say I DNF'd, but still, F you DNF. See you again.